All right, welcome back, everybody. Ready for our afternoon session. Going to let all of our folks in and we can get started.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey.
Hey,
Ask everybody, please, to mute your phones. I'm going to make an announcement as to how we're going to proceed.
yes, sir.
Still got a few people connecting. We'll give those folks time to connect to audio and then we'll get started.
You told us to mute our phones, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, looks like we've got everyone or most everyone connected. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Eric Richardson. I will preside over this arraignment calendar this afternoon and also over all future proceedings of this case. Because we're proceeding by Zoom and we have a lot of people connected, I'm going to again ask everyone in advance to please mute your phone or your other device so that we can minimize background noise and other distractions while the hearing is taking place. When it is your turn to speak, just remember, please, to take yourself off mute and make sure your video is turned on so I can see you. We have several other people on the Zoom hearing today. We have court personnel, which includes my case manager, Ms. Daniels. We have the state's attorneys who prosecute these cases. We also have the public defenders who can be appointed to represent you if you wish to have an attorney, cannot afford to hire one, and qualify for their services. Those of you who have received a notice to appear today have been charged with a misdemeanor. Generally, misdemeanors in Georgia carry a penalty of not more than 12 months in jail and not more than a $1,000 fine. The arraignment calendar is the stage of the proceedings where you will be advised of the charges against you, and you will be asked to make some important decisions going forward about your case. So before we begin this process, I need to let everyone know that each of you has certain important rights that I want you to remember during this process. First and most important, you are presumed innocent, and you are innocent in this court until you plead guilty or you go to trial, and upon hearing proper evidence, the trier of fact finds you guilty. You have a right to a trial by jury. At a trial, the state would have to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have legal counsel present with you at all stages of the proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, I will appoint an attorney to represent you if you qualify. Now, in a few moments, I will call the calendar. When I call the calendar, if you hear your name, please just give me a signal, give me either a wave or just announce your presence so that I can announce that you are here. Then I will turn to the state and ask the state to advise of the charges against you, whether or not any evidence or discovery has been filed in the case, and whether there's been any efforts to contact or any contact with you prior to this calendar. Then I will turn to you and ask you how you would like to proceed with your case. You have essentially three choices. You can ask for a public defender, you can plead not guilty, or you can plead guilty or no contest. So I'm going to explain each of those choices to you. For example, if you're not sure about the charges or what you want to do about the charges, and you wish to have legal representation and cannot afford legal representation, then you can ask for a public defender. In order to qualify for a public defender, you must complete an application that the public defender will send you. If you qualify, the public defender will represent you before the court and handle any negotiation to resolve the case or represent you at trial. If you desire a public defender, what I'm going to ask you to do today, when I talk to you and call your name, is to put your name, email address, and telephone number in the chat box so that the public defender can send you an application. Then you should fill that application out and give that back to the public defender. The public defender cannot represent you before the court unless and until you have filled out an application and you qualify. In the meantime, we will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf until we're able to otherwise resolve the case with the help of the public defender. So that's your first option if you want a public defender. Second option is to plead not guilty. If you plead not guilty, the case will be reset to a status conference before trial to see if the case can be resolved by plea or determine that it needs to go to an actual jury trial or a trial by me. In the meantime, you may wish to decide to hire private counsel, or you may still wish, despite entering that not guilty plea, to explore whether you qualify for a public defender. All of those options are still available to you if you plead not guilty. You also have the option to discuss your case with the solicitor and see what type of penalty the state would recommend to me if you agree to a guilty plea or some type of pretrial intervention. But please understand that if you represent yourself and you speak with the solicitor about your case, nothing you say is privileged. That means anything you say can be used at a later trial if you're unable to reach an agreement with the solicitor on how to resolve your case. So that's the option of pleading not guilty. Third option is to plead guilty or no contest. If you plead guilty, that means you understand and admit the charges. If you plead nolo, you're not admitting guilt, but you desire not to contest the charges and just simply resolve the matter by paying or handling whatever penalty is recommended by the state. If you wish to plead guilty or nolo, there is some short paperwork that you need to fill out, and the solicitor will need to be in touch with you to get copies of that paperwork to you so you can sign. And then we'll schedule a later hearing where you can actually enter your plea. So again, your options when I turn to you: ask for a public defender, plead not guilty, or plead guilty or nolo. Let's go to the calendar now. Position 1, Anthony McClure. We have Anthony McClure. All right, no response. Position 2, Cody Ferguson.
Arraignment waived.
Thank you. Position 3, William Ewing.
Arraignment waived.
Thank you. Position 4, Reginald Collins. I see Mr. Collins on my screen. Collins, you can take yourself off mute.
Okay.
All right, we've got you. Good afternoon, Mr. Collins.
Good. How you doing?
Very good, thank you. Mr. Collins, we're going to hear from the state regarding your charges, and then I'll have some questions for you.
All right.
This is case 21 CR 001-222F. Mr. Collins was charged with tampering with evidence, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and obstruction of a law enforcement officer with an incident date of August 7th, 2019. Discovery was filed on July 6, 2021, and I've had no contact with the defendant.
All right, Mr. Collins, how would you like to proceed with your case?
Not yet.
All right. We'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Do you intend to represent yourself, or do you want a lawyer?
I want a lawyer.
So you want to see if you qualify for a public defender?
Yes.
All right, so what we're going to need for you to do, if you haven't already done so, is to put your name, email address, and telephone number in chat.
Well, in the chat, what's chat? The green box or the share content box?
So you're on your phone now?
Yeah, I'm on my phone now.
All right, so there should be at the right-hand side of your screen, a box that says more, 3 dots above it. Press
Okay.
that button and it should lead you to chat.
Okay, to content. Okay, it says the host is set a meeting. Okay. You said I go to chat and put what in chat?
Your name, email address, and telephone number.
Okay, thank you. Phone number. All right, I got all that done.
All right, so what's going to happen from here? The public defender that will be assigned to your application is David Howell.
Okay.
So you're going to get an email from David Howell, which attaches an application.
Okay.
You need to respond to Mr. Howell and fill out that application and get that back to him as soon as possible so he can verify that he can represent you. Just
Okay.
make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Howell about the case. He'll let you know what's going to happen next. We're going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. And the case is going to be reset to a status conference in a few weeks, and you'll get notice.
Okay.
Mr. Howell, if you want his contact information, it is in the chat box a little bit above your name, a few steps above your name. His email and telephone numbers there.
Okay.
You see it?
Wait, Howell?
Yes.
Okay. I don't need to chat with him now? Or do I need to chat with him right now?
No.
Okay.
He will reach out to you. Mr. Howell will reach out to you,
Oh.
and you can either respond by email or y'all can get together by phone, however you want to communicate.
Okay. I got it.
All right. Mr. Collins, you have any other questions for me before we let you go?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Collins. You're free to go.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Position 5, Victor Guyton. Victor Guyton. No response. Position 6, Stephen Cunningham. Stephen Cunningham. No answer.
Your Honor, I believe Rocky Babson had entered an appearance on Mr. Cunningham, and I believe arraignment may have been waived.
All right, we'll confirm that. Position 7, Jessica Odell. Jessica Odell.
Your Honor, I believe I submitted a no-pros order for this case.
All right. You will confirm that. All right, position 8, Jamisha Hosea. Jamisha Hosea. No response. Position 9, Kenyatta Williams.
I'm here.
All right, Ms. Williams, can you turn on your camera for me, please?
Mhm.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. All right, Ms. Williams, I'm going to ask for the solicitor to advise you of the charge.
Yes, Your Honor, this is case 21 CR 001356F. Defendant was charged with simple battery with an incident date of May 31st, 2019. Was filed on July 6th, 2021, and I've had no contact with the defendant.
Ms. Williams, how do you want to proceed with your case?
Not guilty.
And do you wish to represent yourself? Do you want to hire a private attorney, or do you wish to see if you qualify for a public defender?
I can get a public defender.
All right, so it looks like you've already put your name, email address, and telephone number in the
I
chat
did.
box. All right. So we have that. The public defender who will handle your application is David Howell. His contact information is in the chat. So just look out for an email from him and make sure that you respond to him and complete that application and get that back to him as soon as possible.
Okay.
Stay in touch with him. He'll advise you what the next steps are. You'll get a notice for a status conference that will be held in a few weeks.
Okay.
You have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, you are free to go. Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Thank you.
All right, position 10, April Henderson. Is that you down?
I'm here.
All right, I saw you wave. I just wanted to make sure.
I was
had the
trying to
right person.
unmute it. Sorry.
All right. All right, Ms. Henderson, we're going to hear from the solicitor regarding your charge.
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 21 CR 001433F. The defendant is charged with simple battery family violence with an incident date of June 20th, 2020. Discovery was filed July 1st, 2021, and I haven't had any contact.
All right, Ms. Henderson, how do you want to proceed with your case?
Nolo.
Not guilty.
I'm talking to Ms. Henderson, Mr. Anderson. Just hold on for a minute.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
All right, so Ms. Henderson, you wish to consider a NOLO plea. All right, so what I'd like you to do, Ms. Henderson, is type your email address and telephone number into the chat box. The solicitor will send you some information, what the proposed sentence is, and there's some paperwork that you'll need to fill out. And while you're doing that, Ms. Henderson, I'm going to go to the next person. I'm going to come back to you. All right, position 11, Nisha Brown. Nisha Brown. No answer. Position 12, Nathan Glover.
I'm here.
All right, Mr. Glover, let's hear from the solicitor regarding your charge.
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 21 CR 001467F. The defendant is charged with simple battery family violence with an incident date of October 31st, 2020. Discovery was filed July 1st, 2021, and I haven't had any contact with the defendant.
All right, Mr. Glover, how do you want to proceed with your case?
Nolo.
Nolo. All right, so if you would, Mr. Glover, put your name and email address in the chat box so the solicitor can get you information on the proposed terms of the plea and some paperwork for you to fill out.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Henderson, I see your information there. Ms. Salette, you have that?
Yes, Your Honor, I have it. Thank
All
you.
right, so Ms. Henderson, you're going to look for an email from Attorney Courtney Salette. And her contact information is up above in the chat. If you want to reach out to her directly, but you'll need to fill out the paperwork and return it to Ms. Salette. And then we'll set the case down for a date where we can take your plea over Zoom.
Okay. Okay.
Mr.
I got it.
All right. You, Ms. Henderson, you have any other questions before we let you go?
No, sir.
All right, just make sure that you stay in touch with Ms. Salette and get that paperwork in.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Glover, are you putting that information in the chat box?
Yeah, I just put it in.
All right, there it is. All right, Mr. Glover, same thing I said to Ms. Henderson applies to you. You're going to get an email. You're going to get an email from Ms. Salette with some paperwork for you to fill out, and that's going to include the terms of the plea. You need to fill that out and get that back to her, and we'll set the case down on a plea calendar where we can take your plea over Zoom.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions for me?
No, so she gonna email it to me?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, sir. You're free to go.
All right, thank you.
All right. Position 13, Jermaine Carroll.
Here, Your Honor.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Carroll.
Good afternoon.
Hear from the solicitor regarding the charge in your case.
Yes, Your Honor, this is case 21 CR 001500F. Defendant was charged with battery, substantial physical harm with an incident date of March 20th, 2020. Discovery was filed on July 6th, 2021, and I've had no contact with the defendant.
All right, Mr. Carroll, how do you want to proceed with your case?
Not guilty, need a public defender.
All right. Do we have your, I see, just a couple of steps up. We have your information. You put your information already in the chat box for our public defender. So the public defender who will be responsible for your application is David Howell.
Mhm.
His contact information, I believe, is a couple of slots above yours in the chat box if you want to reach out to him directly after the hearing. But you should expect to receive an email from him with the application. Please respond to him and get that application completed and back to him as soon as possible so we can confirm he can represent you. And then stay in touch with him. He'll advise you what the next steps are to get the case resolved.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and the case will be reset to its status calendar in a few weeks.
Okay. Thank you.
You have any questions?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
All right, you are free to go. Thank you, Mr. Carroll.
Thank you.
Next, position 14, Frank Anderson.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Mr. Anderson, I think we heard from you before. You want to enter a nolo plea?
Yes, I want to do a nolo.
You understand the charge against you?
Yes, sir.
And I see you put your information in the chat box. The solicitor responsible for your case is attorney Stephanie Dufford. You should look for a communication from Ms. Dufford regarding the case. Need to fill out the paperwork.
Your Honor, if this is Franklin Anderson, I believe this is Ms. Salette's case.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I have my numbers mixed up. That's Ms. Salette, Courtney Salette, who's going to reach out to you. But look for an email from Ms. Salette. Make sure you respond to that. Get that paperwork filled out and back to her, and then we'll reset the case for a plea calendar, or we can take your plea over Zoom. You have any questions, Mr. Anderson?
Yes, my mama have a question. Go ahead, mama, unmute your phone.
I cannot Hey, Your Honor, I cannot interrupt you.
Oh.
I'm
All right,
mama.
this is mom.
That's right. It's your house. I'm Mama Aisha Bass. I'm the victim. This is my mother, Frankly's grandmother, Kim Smith.
How you doing?
My son suffered since he was 6 years old from skip affective disorder. The mental health doctor that he has been in India half of the year when the pandemic came, where Frankly was not on the correct meds. He finally has got on the correct meds. He graduated. He graduated from high school in May. We go to church every Sunday. We have family counseling with his mental health advisor. She comes, Frankly actually stays in a group home for mental health. So I am his payee and I'm still over him, making sure he get his meds and everything. So that's what's the concern is. He's trying to get in a program where he can get his own apartment, independent living. And he doesn't need this. I was calling for 1013 that day. And he was not on his meds. And my mom was holding him. Yeah. And he was seeing things. We had called 911, told them days before he was seeing things. No one went.
All right, Mom. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you. Here's what I think needs to happen. I think he needs legal representation and somebody that can negotiate with the solicitor's office.
Yes, sir.
To try and get a resolution. I believe based on, although I can't talk for the solicitor, but yes, I believe there's room to have a conversation with the solicitor about this to reach a resolution that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
So,
sorry, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if Mom could put her phone number in the chat as well, so we can have.
That was me that did it. That was me. That's
so
me.
That's a good number to reach on.
Yep, the phone number, because he cannot comply to everything. He have a problem with auditory processing. You have to sit in front of him to read and repeat it back to him.
And I'll be reaching out to you then.
Please don't forget. And I'll be waiting. Thank you, Miss Courtney. And thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Judge, before we leave this case, will they be speaking with a public defender or going on their own?
So, Mom, I think, I can't advise you whether you need a lawyer or not. A lawyer may be helpful. Of course, he'd have to qualify. It sounds like he may qualify for a public defender. So if you want to see if you qualify for a public defender, we can give you that information as well.
Yes, sir. Please. And I got a printer, a scanner. I can get the ball running and do the paperwork.
All right. So which is the email?
Shantae29@gmail.com.
All right. So and that will come to you?
Yes, sir. Everything comes to me. Because I got two little girls. One is 4 and one is 6 in a wheelchair. So I'm at home all day taking care of them.
All right. So the public defender that would be responsible, her name is Emily Bronstein. Her name and contact information is in the chat box, and she has your contact information.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna take a picture of it so I won't hold you longer.
All right, and she will send the application, can have a conversation with you about this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor, for everything. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Courtney. Thank y'all.
All right, I'm confident that between everybody that y'all can get this resolved.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you don't have any other questions for me, we're going to let you and Mr. Anderson go.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Position 15, John Hegler. John Hegler. No answer. Position 16, Alexis Beadle. Alexis Beadle.
Here.
All right, good afternoon, Ms. Beadles. We're going to ask the solicitor to advise of the charge against you.
Your Honor, this is case number 21 CR 001-557F. The defendant is charged with theft by taking with an offense date of March 2nd, 2021. Discovery was filed July 1st, 2021, and I haven't had any contact with the defendant.
All right, Ms. Beatles, how do you want to proceed with your case?
No law.
Ms. Beatles, if you could put your contact information in the chat box, particularly your email address.
Okay, how do I do it?
So on your phone, there's a button on the right-hand corner that says more, that has 3 dots over it.
And I hit chat.
Yes. You can type that in there.
Phone number and email address.
Yes, please. All right, so the solicitor on your case is Courtney Sillette. She's going to send you some information. There's a couple of pieces of paper that you need to review and fill out and sign. And she'll advise you what the, y'all can talk about what the suggested penalty will be. If y'all can work that out, then we'll set it down for a plea calendar where we'll take your plea by Zoom.
Okay.
So just make sure you respond and keep in touch with Ms. Sillette.
Miss Sillette, she'll send me an email.
Yes. And her email is also in the chat, a little bit higher up.
Wait a minute. How do I find it?
She put it back in. She put it back in right at the bottom there, her email address of the chat box. You should be able to see it now.
Okay, I will screenshot that real quick.
All right.
So she'll get in touch with me to let me know what I have to do?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, you can reach out to her there, or you can call their office.
Okay, will I have another court date?
We have hopefully the next court date will be your plea.
Okay.
But if y'all don't have a plea, it'll appear on a pretrial status conference, and we'll talk about what we have to do to get the case resolved.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Do you have any other questions before we let you go?
No, I don't.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Beadle.
All right, thank you.
All right. Position 17, Shanta Urban.
I can hang up?
Yes, you can hang up.
Okay.
I'm here.
All right. Good afternoon, Ms. Urban. We're going
Good
to hear
afternoon.
from
How you
the
doing?
solicitor about your charges. I'm doing well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, this is case 21 CR 001-558F. Defendant was charged with theft by shoplifting for an incident that occurred on March 29th, 2021. Discovery was filed on July 6th, 2021, and I've had no contact with the defendant.
All right, Ms. Urban, what do you want to do about your case?
I would like to plead not guilty, but also, what about the solicitor thing? Is that for the NOLO, or is that just for not guilty as well? To be able to speak with the prosecutor, is that the solicitor?
If you want to represent yourself, you can speak with the solicitor. You're free to do that and plead not guilty. I just remind people that anything they say during a plea discussion could be used against you later, but you're welcome to represent yourself and have any conversation you want to have with the solicitor about the case.
Okay, so is that still pleading not guilty? I'm sorry, did I speak pleading not guilty? Is that still speaking with the solicitor? I mean, the prosecutor, but that's still pleading not guilty. But speaking with the prosecutor, is that like just seeing like what they want to do about the case, even speaking with them? Okay.
Yes, you're free to speak with them about the case without admitting any guilt. Just don't tell them anything that admits guilt, because they can use that against you. But you can talk to them about how to resolve the case. You can tell them any facts that you think work in your favor, any reasons why you think they should get rid of the case, or why the punishment should be a certain way rather than the other. However you want to negotiate
Okay.
on your behalf, you're able to do that.
Okay, can we plead in not guilty and speak with the solicitor?
All right. The solicitor in charge of your case would be Ms. Stephanie Dufford. Her contact information is, she just put her contact information in the chat box.
Okay, I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna see how you do that.
And if
If you go to, can you go to more and go to chat?
Urban, if you can put your information in the chat as
Oh,
well.
okay.
An email, that will have
With my first, last name, number and email.
Yes.
Okay, it should be coming through. I'm not sure if it came through or not. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? It sent it to someone else. It's a Emily instead of. Let me copy it. Should I put it for everyone or just put it for Stephanie?
I can send it to Stephanie.
I got it. I just sent it to put it on there for everyone.
All right. Now we've got it. All right. So take that information down from Ms. Dufford. She's got your information. Let's look for communication from Ms. Dufford and respond to that, and hopefully y'all can work it out. If you aren't able to work it out, we'll set it down in a few weeks for a status conference and talk about what the next step is in getting the case resolved.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you, Stephanie.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
Ms. Irvin. Unless you have any other questions, you're free to go.
All right, thank you.
Position 18, Daniel Gill. Daniel Gill. No response. Position 19, Delonte Quarterman. Delonte Quarterman.
Right here. I'm right here.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Quarterman. So we're going to hear from the solicitor about your charge.
Yes, Your Honor, this is case 21 CR 001738F. Defendant has been charged with battery and family violence for an incident that occurred on August 5th, 2019. Discovery was filed on July 6th, 2021, and I've had no contact with the defendant.
All right, Mr. Quarterman, how do you want to proceed with your case?
Not guilty.
All right.
Can I get a public defender?
Mr. Quarterman, it appears that you applied previously. I emailed you yesterday to let you know that you do not meet the qualifications for a public defender.
Okay.
So you have the option, Mr. Quarterman, to represent yourself or to try to find a private attorney. You're welcome to speak with the solicitor assigned to your case if you want to have a discussion with them about trying to resolve it. The solicitor who's assigned to your case is Stephanie Dufford. Her contact information is in the chat box. And if you want to leave your contact information in the chat box, she may reach out to you.
What's her name again?
Stephanie Dufford.
Stephanie Dufford.
Mr. Quarterman, if you can put your contact information in the chat box, I can reach out to you so you'll have my contact information.
Put your email.
You have an email address also, Mr. Quarterman?
I'm about to put it in there.
All right. All right, we've got your contact information. So we've got a not guilty plea down for you. The case will be reset to a status conference within the next within the next few weeks. In the meantime, if y'all are able to come to a resolution, we'll get some plea paperwork signed and have you enter a plea by Zoom.
Okay.
Otherwise, the case will have to go to trial.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions before we let you go?
That's it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Quarterman. You're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, position 20, Courtney Thomas. Courtney Thomas. No response.
Hello?
Oh, there we are. Mr. Thomas, can you turn your camera on for me? It looks like you're muting and unmuting. There should be a video camera at the bottom of your screen. Something that looks like a video camera that says video or stop video. That's the button you need to press. All right, Mr. Thomas, we're going to come back to you. All right, 21 was Shiree Copeland. That was a no pros. 22 is Glenda Fonseca. That was a no pros. Position 23, Aaron Force. Aaron Force. No answer. Position 24, India Colquitt.
What are they doing?
India Colquitt. No answer. Position 25, Latonka Benton was a no pros. Position 26, Cameron Ames.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ames, can you put your camera on for me?
Give me just a second. I'm trying to I'm so sorry.
All right. In the meantime, Mr. Thomas, I had you on screen for a moment. And then
Yes,
you
sir.
disappeared again.
I'm ready now, sir.
All right. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ames, just hold on for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Just stay on camera, but hold on for a minute. I'm going to talk to Mr. Thomas here.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Thomas, we're going to hear from the solicitor regarding the charges.
Sorry about that. This case.
No, I'm jumping back and forth.
Yeah, I just was pulling it up real quick. Sorry. It's case 21 CR 001750F. Mr. Thomas was charged with DUI, less safe, driving without a valid license, reckless driving, and possession of open container with an incident date of November 10th, 2019. Discovery was filed on July 6th, 2021, and I have not had any contact with the defendant.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, how do you want to proceed with your case?
Not guilty.
All right. Mr. Thomas, are you planning to represent yourself? You want to hire an attorney, or you want to see if you qualify for a public defender?
To see if I qualify for an attorney or try to get a private attorney if I can be accepted by a public offender.
All right, so we're going to need you to put your Name, email address, and telephone number in the chat box so that the public defender can send you an application.
Yes, sir. How do I do that?
All right, so at the bottom of your phone in the right-hand corner, there's something that says more, and it has 3 dots on over it.
It's 3 dots. No, sir, I don't see it.
You don't see anything that says more at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen?
No, sir.
What do you see at the
Oh,
bottom?
I see it now.
Okay. You
All
press,
right,
press
chat.
that button and then press chat.
My telephone number, name, and email address.
That's correct. All right, we have that. So the public defender who will be assisting with your application is David Howell.
Mhm.
So he's going to send you the application. He's going to send you an email with the application. Please make sure you respond to that, fill out that application and get that back to him. And just stay in touch with him. He'll advise you what the next steps are.
Yes, sir.
And the case will be reset to a status calendar in the next few weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Thomas, you're free to go.
All right, thank you.
All right, and now we've got Ms. Ames. All right, Ms.
Yes, sir.
Ames. All right, we're going to hear from the solicitor regarding the charges.
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 21 CR 001-969F. The defendant is charged with DUI, alcohol, less safe, hit and run, expired tag or unregistered vehicle with an incident date of December 2nd, 2019. Discovery was filed July 1st, 2021, and I haven't had any contact with the defendant.
All right. Ms. Ames, how do you want to proceed with your case?
I'd like to see if I qualify for a public defender.
All right, do we have your information in the chat?
I did put it in earlier.
All right, let's see if I can find it.
I don't see it.
I
There
can-
it is. It's at 1:51 p.m.
I can enter it again if need be.
I see it. I see it.
All
I
right.
just re-put my information in the Zooms.
All right, Ms. Ames, the public defender who's going to handle your application is Attorney Emily Bronstein. Her contact information is in the chat if you want to take it down, but you will expect to receive an email from Ms. Bronstein with an application. Make sure you respond to that, fill out the application, get it back to her so we can verify that you qualify for public defender services, and just keep in touch with Ms. Bronstein. She'll let you know what the next steps are.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And unless you have any other questions, you're free to go.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. All right. I see, I overlooked, I see we had an attorney announce an appearance here. Mr. Nagel.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Doing fine, thank you. I represent Mr. Dean. He's on the Zoom conference here, and we're going to waive arraignment, plead not guilty, and ask for 10 days to file motions. I would like to know what the charge is, though.
On number 28, I think that's you, Ms. Solet.
Yes, Your Honor. The charge is simple battery with an incident date of January 31st, 2021.
Thank you.
All right, we've got that down. Hopefully y'all can have some discussions and perhaps work it out. If not, we'll reset it to status calendar in a few weeks. Just let us know if you can resolve it, and we'll put it down for a Zoom plea.
We will do that, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nagel.
Thank you, Judge. Are we excused?
You are excused.
Thank you.
All right, I think I skipped number 27, Denise Powell. Denise Powell. No response. Now 29, Jasmine Coles. Jasmine Coles. No response. Position 30, Kevin Paulin. Kevin Paulin.
Arraignment waived.
All right, thank you. Position 31, Elijah Hunter.
He indicated he was having technical difficulties.
All right. Position 32, Shane Terrace.
Arraignment waived.
All right. Position 33, Brandon Shorter.
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Shorter.
Good afternoon to
Hear
you.
from the solicitor regarding your charge.
Mr. Honor, this is case 21 CR 002190F. The defendant was charged with reckless conduct for an incident that occurred on April 6, 2021. Discovery was filed on July 6, 2021. Mr. Shorter did reach out to our office with his contact information. Was unsure if he was going to request a public defender, but I have not personally had any contact with him.
All right, Mr. Shorter, how do you want to handle your case?
I would like to plead not guilty, and I would like to represent myself. I was getting my own private attorney.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Shorter will enter that plea. You've already reached out. They have the solicitor's office has the information. So when you do get your own attorney, make sure they file an entry of appearance so they get a notice of any future hearings. But the case will be reset. Unless you have any questions, you're free to go.
If I were not to be able to get a private attorney, could I always file for a public defender in the future?
Yes, you can.
Yes, sir. Well, that was my only question.
And if you were to ask for a public defender, the public defender who would handle your application would be David Howell.
Could I get his information?
How you want to put your information back there in chat?
As a matter of fact, I see it.
You see it there?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you can always reach out. You have information to reach out to the solicitor about your case.
Yes, sir.
And the case will be reset. You'll receive notice of any future hearing.
Yes, sir.
Unless you have any other questions, you're free to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Position 34, William Knight.
I'm here, Your Honor. Right here.
All right, Mr. Knight, good afternoon. Let's hear from the solicitor about your charges.
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 21 CR 002219F. The defendant is charged with battery family violence with an offense date of March 12, 2021. Discovery was filed July 1st, 2021, and I haven't had any contact with the defendant.
Okay, Mr. Knight, how do you want to handle your case?
Not guilty.
All right, and Mr. Knight, are you intending to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or you want to see if you qualify for a public defender?
I'll see if I qualify for public defender and try to speak to the solicitor for us, trying to get the case resolved, I guess.
So if you're interested in a public defender, I would advise you to wait and see how that process goes before you speak to the solicitor yourself. But
Okay, that's fine, Young.
it's your option. You're free to represent yourself if you wish to.
Okay, I'll try to see if I qualify for that first.
All right, so what we're going to need is we're going to need you to put your name, email address, and telephone number in the chat box so that the public defender can send you an application.
Okay. Let me chat. Okay. Can't get the door to close. Hold on, sir.
All right, we have your information. So you're going to get, you should look for an email from our public defender, Emily Bronstein. You're going to send an application. You'll need to respond to that application in order to see if you're eligible, and just stay in touch with Ms. Bronstein about next steps. If you want her contact information, it is in the chat box above you.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Excuse me, Young. I'm at work. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Y'all caught me right when I was trying to. They came and started talking to me right when the Zoom thing called my name. I'm sorry. Hello.
We're here. Do you have the information you need about the public defender?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do.
All right. Unless you have any other questions, we can let you get back to work.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Young.
All right. Position 35, Zachary Jones. Zachary Jones. No response. Position 36, Neelam Jaglin.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Ms. Jaglin, let's hear from the solicitor about your charges.
Yes, Your Honor, this is case 21 CR 002272F. Ms. Jaglin was charged with DUI, was safe, driving while license suspended or revoked, headlights not turned on as required, improper erratic lane change, knowingly driving motor vehicle on suspended, cancel, or revoked registration for an incident that occurred on January 10th, 2020. Discovery was filed on July 6, 2021, and I've had no contact with the defendant.
All right, Ms. Jaglin, how do you want to handle your case?
Last time I knew that they changed it from DUI to reckless driving. I don't know. And I'm hearing it different. But I plan on sleeping next street over across the street, and so I plead not guilty because I plan on not driving. And
Mr. Ragland or Miss Jaglin, this is David Howell, public defender. The court's just asking whether you want to apply for a public defender or how you want to handle the case right now. If you want to apply for a public defender, please state that. Otherwise, I'd recommend don't get into the facts of the case.
okay, I'd like to get the public defender.
All right, so if you would, put your name, email address, and telephone number in the chat box.
Okay.
So that Mr. Howell can send you an application. All right, we have that. So what's going to happen is that Public Defender Attorney David Howell is going to send you an email with an application. You need to make sure you respond to him and fill out that application and get that back to him so he can confirm that he can represent you.
Okay.
Just keep in touch with Mr. Howell about next steps.
Okay, and I'll get the email so I can apply for that.
Yes, and if you want to reach out to him separately, his contact information is just a couple of spots above yours in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
All right, unless you have any other questions, we're going to let you go.
All right, thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Position 37, Ronaldo Raphael. Raphael.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Raphael. Good afternoon. Let's hear from the solicitor about your charge.
Yes, Your Honor, this is case 21 CR 002288F. Defendant was charged with obstruction of law enforcement officer for an incident that occurred on April 17th, 2021. Discovery was filed on July 6th, 2021, and I've had no contact with the defendant.
All right, Mr. Raphael, how do you want to proceed with your case?
Not guilty.
All right, and is it your intent to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or you want to see if you qualify for a public defender?
Either represent myself or private attorney, because I received the email a couple of days ago saying that I didn't qualify for public defender.
All right.
I don't know why, but
Mr. Raphael, give me one, I believe.
I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
I spoke to you on the phone yesterday, Mr. Raphael. Do you recall that?
You said, do I recall speaking with you?
Yes.
Yeah, a few days ago.
Yeah, and I believe you did not qualify.
Yeah, so I represent myself or I'll get a private attorney.
All right, so if you do represent yourself, you're free to have a conversation with the solicitor about your case to see if you can resolve it. The solicitor who would handle your case is Attorney Stephanie Dufford.
If I could get contact information from Mr. Raphael so I could reach out regarding this case.
Mr. Raphael, if you could put your contact information in the chat, then the solicitor will reach out to you, see if you can resolve the case.
Is that the top button, top right corner, say leave?
I think bottom right-hand corner that says more.
Yeah.
And then press that and chat should come up.
Like I said, it says chat and 25.
Yes.
All right.
Put your contact information there, and the solicitor will reach out to you to see if you can resolve it.
All right.
While you're doing that, I'll move to position 38, Brittany Amy. Brittany Amy. No response. Position 39, Johnny Baker. Mr. Baker, I see Mr. Baker.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Mr. Baker, let's hear from the. Oh, hold on one second, Mr. Baker.
Okay.
We've got Mr. Raphael's information. Solicitor's going to reach out to you. The case will be reset for further notice. You'll get notice as to when the next hearing in your case is. You're free to go unless you have any questions.
That was it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Raphael. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mr. Baker.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to hear from the solicitor about your case.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 21 CR 002301F. The defendant is charged with reckless driving and DUI, alcohol less safe, with an offense date of December 2nd, 2019. Discovery was filed July 1st, 2021, and I haven't had any contact with the defendant.
All right. Baker, what do you want to do with your case?
I wanted to hire an attorney, a continuance for more time to get an attorney, a private attorney, more than likely.
All right.
But as far as the charges, I wanted to plead not guilty to the DUI and I guess guilty to the reckless driving.
No, don't plead anything yet until you talk to your attorney.
Okay.
So when you've hired an attorney, make sure they enter an appearance so that your attorney can get copies of the notices, but you'll get notice for the next hearing.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Unless you have any other questions, Mr. Baker, you're free to go.
Okay. One more question. If I'm unable to successfully acquire an attorney, I would need to let the defensive attorneys know as soon as possible. The court appointed attorney, I mean.
Well, right now you don't have a court appointed attorney. If you believe you would qualify, you're free at any time to apply for the services of a public defender. That's up to you. I can't guarantee that you would qualify or that you wouldn't.
Okay, I put my information in to see if I qualify.
All right, let's see if we can find it.
So do you want to apply for the public defender's office before doing anything else?
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, let me see if I can find your contact information.
It's at 149.
Thank you, Judge. I see it.
All right, so the public defender who would handle your application is Attorney Emily Bronstein. So look out for an email from her with the application. You need to fill out the application, respond to her, and get it back to her in order to be considered for public defender.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
All right. And while that process is happening, I advise you not to have any communications with the solicitor about this case.
Okay.
And if you do find a private attorney, yes, definitely let the public defender's office know, and they won't proceed with your application.
Okay, I have it.
All right. Mr. Baker, you have any other questions before we let you go?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Thank you, too.
All right. Position 40, Avante Ross. Avante Ross, no response. All right. Do we have any defendant left whose case I have not dealt with? Anyone else on the line whose case I have not dealt with?
I'm on the line, Judge. I was for Nisha Brown.
Brown. I see that one. We did not get any response from Ms. Brown.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you didn't ever say anything. That's the reason why I didn't hang up, because I want to make sure to let you know that I was here. I'm the one that took out the application on Nisha Brown. She started with the court on the 1st. This is the second incident she done did, kicked my door in. This is the second time. The judge gave her, she had to turn herself in Friday, but she did not turn herself in on that charge.
All right, so sounds like there may be a warrant out for her on that other charge.
And Ms. Brown?
This case is going to be continued. Yes, Ms. Duffer?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Your Honor. I just wanted to, Ms. Brown, did you speak with Ms. Peak regarding this today, or do we have good contact information for you?
The only thing I got email, well, I spoke to Mr. Robert, I think, Robinson or somebody like that, would let me know that I had to be on here today, but I haven't spoke with anybody else.
Okay, but you
About
did
this-
get
about
the
this
Zoom
case.
and everything from our office. I'll reach out to you. It sounds like we do have good contact information for you then.
All right,
Okay,
Ms.
and I know that the second warrant that was when I went to sign last week, the address that Nisha Brown is at, it's on the bottom of that second warrant. The new her address. She don't live here anymore. She wouldn't give the judge the address where she resides at.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Brown. The solicitor's office will be in touch with you. And you are free to go.
All right, thank you, Judge. You have a blessed day.
You too.
Uh-huh.
All right. I think that takes care of everything unless we have any further business. We'll let everybody go.
Thank you.
Everybody
Thank
have a
you.
good remainder of the week.